terms of how the technology works, so a phone-based operation has many millions of phone calls going through it. And what we do is we stream those conversations to our cloud system, and then as those conversations happen, we're looking at behavioral signals in those conversations and then providing feedback to the frontline customer service representative. So it's really a three-way real-time situation. In terms of how the technology works, so at the base level, we're taking many hundreds of measures across the voice spectrogram. Then we're synthesizing those into behavior models. These are specific actions or things that one is looking for that are psychologically relevant. So for example, pressured speech. If somebody is suddenly very agitated and their speech picks up like that, that's an example of a behavior that may be interesting and something that you don't really want your customer service representative to sound that way, because you want them to be calm and reliable, etc. Right? So that's an example of a behavior. Then from the behaviors and the signals, we have performance measures, which is larger term concepts like, is somebody being empathic? Is this conversation going well? Is somebody under distress? So that's sort of a higher level model. And then beyond there is the predictive component, where we say, well, this conversation didn't go well, therefore this customer may be at risk of churning. And therefore this is a customer that you may need to reach out to offer them something to keep them in the fold. So that's sort of the example of the analytic pyramid. Customers are able to define particular business rules and sort of keyword patterns that are relevant to their specific operation, and when those patterns are spotted, then they are that creates a specific notification for an agent. So that's sort of one part of it. The second part of it is this is a learning system. So when we're given access to sort of ultimate core outcomes, we can use that continuously to refine the models within our system, how accurate our measures of quality are as they relate to a future business outcome. One of the things that's sort of really neat about having this type of system is that our engine is seeing millions of phone calls go through our system as they're happening, so millions of human conversations, and we are affecting those conversations as they're happening by giving notifications to one or potentially multiple parties in that conversation. So we always know if we've given a notification, if it made any positive difference or not, and we can continuously learn from that. So it's a very interesting system from a sort of technical machine learning perspective. And there's a lot of theory around this, and I would like to note again, on the shoulders of giants, this is a lot of theory that Sandy Pentland developed originally. But it turns out that most of the important signals in a conversation are actually universal properties of humans rather than local properties of language and culture. And the reason for that is that if you want to communicate attitude or distress or these types of concepts, they're actually rooted in ancient brain systems that were developed pre-language. And that's one of the reasons the system is so reliable in terms of its understanding of how well things are going. So what that means in practice is that our measures of, say for example, how well something's going, or our measures of how you should behave differently to create more rapport, are incredibly extensive. We run them in English, absolutely. We run them in English as a second language. We run them in European languages. So already we're deployed internationally today. And there's really no algorithmic difference for those particular feature sets. The exception to that is keyword.